Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. My name is Shelby. This is going to be a 15 to 20 minute core class. We are going to get started on our backs. So go ahead and lie down and just take a moment to lift your hips up. Try to turn your tailbone towards the front of your mat and then lower your hips back down. If you have no idea what that even means or feels like, try to lift your hips and then just press lower back down into the mats. You won't be here long, but we're just gonna start to begin to activate those deep core muscles. So as you inhale here, just begin to bring your knees into your chest. And when your knees come into your chest, we just wanna start to press lower back down to the mat and then even lift your head up so that you can tuck your chin in towards your chest and press the back of your head into the ground. Begin to take a gentle rock from side to side. And we're gonna take 3 grounding breaths here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale. Let it go. And then one more together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. As you come back through center, continue to squeeze your knees into the chest and then begin to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off of the ground. And when you do that, see if you can keep your knees in as close as they are, but begin to reach your arms forward. And you'll be like, whoa, my knees pop forward a little bit. Just try to lift them in a little bit closer. And you're gonna feel those deep, subtle core muscles turn on to keep you lifted. From this position, we're gonna start to just extend the legs up and then out slightly. So for some of you, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna go down like 45 degrees. For others, we're gonna stay lifted. And where you know your zone is if your lower back can stay connected to the ground. So keep reaching the arms forward and you're gonna feel that heat building. You're gonna be like, why are we doing this right from this get-go? Just take a deep breath in and a huge breath out. Now start to bring that left knee into the chest, interlace your hands behind your head and start to cross your right elbow over to that left side. Stay here for a moment and try to lift a little bit higher. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now come through center, extend your left leg out, rejoin the legs, and then bring that right knee in. Start to cross your left elbow to the right side and then lift a little higher if you can. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center, extend your right leg out, and then lift both legs up, squeeze your knees back into your chest. Let's take those arms out to a T, and then knees over your hips. Let your knees fall over to the left side of the room. Try to pin your right shoulder now down to the ground. Look over to the right thumbnail, and then slightly tuck your chin in towards your right collarbone. Press into the right shoulder. Begin to engage the right obliques and bring your knees, roll them back through center. Exhale, other side, knees over to the right. Press your left shoulder down into the mat. Look over to the left thumbnail. Big breath in and a huge breath out. Inhale back through center, scoop up the backs of your legs and then cross your ankles. So from here, we're gonna keep the ankles flexed, roll up to a seat, and then practice 2 more times. And maybe you hover at the top, trying to hold that position. 1 more time. We're coming up cross-legged, and then cross your ankles. Hold on to your shins. Start to poke your butt back as you lift your chest up, coming into a seated cow. And then exhale, start to round your spine. I want you to roll to your tailbone as long as that feels okay. So your arms are like quite taut here as you're rounding. It's gonna look a little weird, that's okay. Inhale, lift your tailbone up, draw your shoulder blades together, lift your heart. And then exhale, round your spine. And then maybe you lean back, crossing the ankles, flex the feet. 1 more time, inhale, lift. Exhale and round. And then see if you can round back to lift the feet using those hip flexors and then come to a neutral spine. We're going to either roll over the knees or swing your feet back behind you. Meet me up in a tabletop position. All right, so hands are directly under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Yeah, and then from here, make sure the tops of your feet are on the ground. We're going to start to tuck the left toes and extend your left leg back behind you. We're starting on that left side. So from this position, we want to start to squeeze the muscles around the left leg and lift your left foot up off of the ground. And what tends to happen is that left heel can lift and we dump the belly down. Draw your low belly up and in. Do this with me. Tense your right fingertips. You're doing everything with me. I don't know why I said that. And then draw your low ribs in, lift them. So you hold yourself accountable when that leg wants to lift a little higher. Then extend your right arm forward. Exhale, start to draw your elbow in towards your knee and then try to squeeze in a little closer. Woo, extend out. You're gonna practice that 2 more times. Left knee to chest, squeeze up and in, up and up, up and in, and then extend. And then 1 more time, squeeze, lift, then hold it for 5. 4, bring your left shoulder slightly forward. See how that turns on left delts. 2 and 1, extend out, and then try to land your hand and your knee down at the same exact time. I didn't do that, but maybe you did. Tuck your right toes and extend your right leg back behind you. Shoulders over your wrists, squeezing the muscles around your right leg. So you're beginning to recruit those muscles before they go into that full range. Turn the right toes down to the ground, then tense your left fingertips. Draw your left hand to your lower belly and see if you can knit those low ribs in. See how that changes the sensation in your right shoulder. Now extend your left arm forward. As you exhale, start to squeeze, hug elbow in towards your knee, round, round, round through the spine. Inhale and extend. Exhale, squeeze and round. Now press into right thumb and index finger, very activate there. Inhale, extend. And then 1 more time, squeeze round to activate, press down. And then extend. Lower your left hand and right knee at the same time. I'll do it a little bit better this time. And you release. Now go ahead, tuck your toes and then hover your knees and just stay there for a moment. Allow the muscles in your upper legs to turn on, get a little bit warmer. Bring shoulders over the wrists. Okay, now start to pull your hips back into downward facing dog. And if you're like, I can't go into that downward facing dog where your heels touch the ground, don't worry about it. I want you to bend your knees if you're there. So bend your knees, press your belly back to the thighs, activate arms. So we're thinking heat in the arms to stretch the legs. Then try to pull your hips back. Take a big breath in through your nose and a huge breath out. On your next inhale, you're going to round your spine. So we think rounding through the lower back, then mid back, then upper back to bring you out to high plank. And if you're like, I didn't get there all the way, walk your feet back or forward to come into that perfect high plank position. Then from this position, we're gonna lower the knees down, untuck your toes, and take 3 rounds of chaturanga push-ups. So pressing the tops of the feet down to the ground, your butt's gonna wanna push back. Try to curl your tailbone down and squeeze your glutes. Then as you exhale, elbows hug in by your sides, lower down. Inhale, press up. So you may lower down halfway, then press up. You might not be able to get all the way down to halfway, that's fine. You can add just a bend to start to activate the triceps. Inhale, press up. Last time, we're gonna lower all the way down to the belly, and then untuck your toes. Hands come underneath your shoulders. I'll meet you up there. With hands under your shoulders, begin to lift your hands up. So now we wanna use the strength of the back body. Press into the tops of your feet as you lift your chest, and then there. Take your arms out like cactus and then try to lift your heart a little bit higher. Exhale and lower down. 2 more. So we want to think about squeezing the glutes, activating lower body, lifting upper body. Exhale and lower. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. Now think about stretching the arms out and then do it. Turn the palms in and reach your arms back as you lift your chest, squeezing the tops of your feet or pushing the tops of your feet down. Exhale and lower down. Tuck your toes. Go ahead, press yourself up to high plank and then pull yourself back to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through your nose and a huge breath out. Inhale, roll out high plank. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Now take your feet as wide as your mat, and we're gonna start to turn on the obliques here. So, well, they're already turned on, but we're gonna light them up a little bit more. Roll your heels over to the right hand under right shoulder, start to reach your left arm up into the sky, look up to left thumb now. Exhale, left hand down, switch sides. Heels over to the left shoulder over left wrist, start to reach your right arm up into the sky. And go ahead, take your right hand down. Over to the right, reach your left arm high, bottom hip now lifts up into top hip. Exhale, left hand low. Heels over to the left, reach your right arm up into the sky, bottom hip to top hip. All right, now come back to your high plank position. Walk your feet together. You can do this. We're gonna do 3 chaturanga push-ups. Now this time from the toes or from your knees. What do you need to challenge you? Lower down, press up. You got 2 more. Lower down, press up. Last one, lower down. Inhale, press up, lower your knees down, untuck your toes, lie down onto your bellies. Reach your arms forward, right out in front of you. Press the tops of your feet into the ground, and then turn your palms in towards one another. Lift your upper arms, and then lift your lower leg, or your legs up off of the ground. Press the hips into the mat, and breathe. Squeeze back body. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands under your shoulders. Inhale, loop the shoulders back, baby cobra. Exhale and lower down. Now option to come into upward facing dog. Hands come underneath the shoulders and then slide them back by your low ribs. Cinch your elbows in by your waist, press into the tops of your feet, lift your heart, draw the shoulder blades together as you lift your chest, and then exhale, we're pulling back, downward facing dog. Big breath in through your nose. Huge breath out, adding a bit more heat here. So if jumping is not in your practice, you're gonna bend your knees and hang out in this crouching position. If jumping is in your practice, we're gonna do a couple, what some people call Shakti kicks. So you're gonna bend your knees and then kick your heels up to your glutes. We're gonna do 3 of these. So kick up and then land down. And then we wanna get it really quiet. So land down one more time, kick up, lower down, and then hop or step your feet to your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat and just let all that heat that's building come through. Don't ignore it. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. As you inhale, round your spine, roll all the way up to stand, then let your shoulders stack over your hips, reach your arms up. As you're reaching your arms up, start to even slightly curl your tailbone down to engage your glutes so that you can safely back bend here and lift your heart. Exhale, hinge and fold over your legs. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Now, option to hop back to chaturanga or step back. I'm gonna demonstrate the step back, but if you have your hop back there, go ahead. And then we're going to lower down, chaturanga or knees down, all the way to your bellies. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. So if you're in upward dog, curl the heart through, lift your chest, squeeze the legs. Exhale, round your spine, pull back, downward facing dog. Inhale, start to lift your left leg up and back behind you. And as you lift your left leg up, can you lift up high onto the right big toe mound like you're wearing like a stiletto heel, a really high one. Exhale, start to squeeze your left knee to your chest, bring it in. And then pull back. You're gonna do that 2 more times. So bring your left knee in. Now bring your shoulders forward. They don't wanna go, but bring them forward and pull back. You're gonna do that 1 more time. Left knee to chest, squeeze in, squeeze in, squeeze in, and then step the left toes through. You can always grab your ankle and bring it up there. Melt your right knee down to the ground, untuck the right toes. As you inhale, begin to reach your arms up to the sky. Notice if that right hip, mine does, wants to open, try to swing it forward and then push into the left big toe mound, peeling the left hip back. As you exhale, plant those hands down to the ground, tuck your right toes, elevate your right knee. Keep your right hand under your right shoulder, and then begin to reach your left arm up into the sky. Modification, right knee back down to the ground. Look up to the left thumb now. Then bend a little bit deeper into that left knee, finding your edge here. So your edge is like, okay, I'm feeling something. I'm gonna breathe into that sensation, get a little curious. 1 more inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, try to lift your right hip a little higher, roll the knife edge of your right foot, and then step your left foot maybe halfway down, maybe to stagger, or left foot on top of right for Vashisthasana. Big breath in here. We're gonna push the bottom hip into the top hip. And then as you exhale, come into high plank. Glide shoulders forward. You can lower down, knees down, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, lift your heart. Exhale, bring it all back. Downward facing dog, lift the hips. So keep those hips high. And as much as you want to just come out of this and collapse, can you push your hands forward? Energize through the upper arm bones. And then lift up high into the tippy toes as you lift your right leg back behind you. Go with this flow. Exhale, right knee to chest, squeeze in. Bring your shoulders forward. Pull your right leg back. You've got 2 more. Squeeze that right knee in. Pull back. One more time, this is where you work on that step through. Bring the right knee forward and then start to step the right foot through. Once again, bring it forward. If you need a little bit more, you can hold on to it. Lower the left knee down onto the ground and untuck your left toes. And from here, we're just gonna pull the hips back, reach your arms up into the sky, lift out of the waist, and try to square your hips. Once hips are squared, plant your hands down. Take your left hand under your left shoulder, start to reach your right arm up into the sky. And then from here, we're gonna add on, tuck the left toes, elevate your left knee, and then just gently come forward and back. So you're gonna see knee come forward and back, finding that sweet spot, find that edge, and then try to lift your hips up a little bit higher. As you lift your hips up higher, draw the shoulder blades together, roll to the knife edge of your left foot, and then step your right foot halfway down, or maybe to stagger. If you want a little bit more, you're gonna lift and stack the feet. Draw the shoulder blades together as you lift your chest. Exhale, come into your high plank and move through vinyasa. Shoulders forward, lower your knees down, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, lift your heart. Exhale, peel it all back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale, 3 Shakti kicks up to your hands. So we're gonna kick heels to glutes, 3, heels to glutes, 2. One more time, bring it up, lower down, and then hop or step your feet to your hands. Go ahead and forward fold and just soak in what that feels like. All the heat that you're building. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Root to rise. You're gonna press down into the feet, reach your arms up, lift out of the waist. Exhale, hinge and fold. Hop back to chaturanga or step back to high plank. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, peel back, downward facing dog. Getting into the final flow here. Inhale, lift your left leg high to the sky. As you exhale, start to squeeze your left knee into your chest. One time, we're stepping through. Left toes through, grab your ankle, bring it up if you need to. Now look at your right heel. Make sure your right heel's almost vertical. Round your spine. So slowly round the spine to make your way up into your high lunge. This is where you once again square the hips, squeeze the right leg as you reach the fingertips up, and then slide your hands to heart center. Begin to spin your right heel down as we open up to warrior 2. So you want to make sure that your left heel, there are different ways to come into warrior 2, where your heel could be in the alignment of your right heel, or you can walk your left foot a little bit closer to the center so it lines up with your right inner arch. I want you to do what feels best in your body. Bend into the left knee, and if you're like, I don't know, try it both out. Reach your arms out to a T, draw your low belly up and in. And look what happens when you draw your low belly up, you find more length in your waist. So lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades together, then reach your arms up to the sky. This is a core class, so we're adding core into warrior 2. Begin to lean over, so almost like side angle, but keep the arms lifted and then come back through center. If you're like, too much, Shell, bring your hands at heart center. You got 2 more. Reach and stretch over your left side and then lift. One more time, reach and stretch. Now I want you to hold this. Extend through your fingertips, press into your right leg and try to rotate the right rib cage up to the sky. Take one more inhale here, sink a little deeper into that left knee, and then straighten your left leg. Whew. Heel ball, toe your right foot in a little closer. Take your right hand to your right thigh. Exalt your triangle. So we just want to take right hand to right leg as you lean back. Exhale, pinwheel your hands down to the ground. Adding in just a little bit more here. Press into the right big toe mound. We're going to lift that left leg up and back behind you. Stretch it back. Bend your left knee. Open your hip. Scorpion your tail. Option to flip your dog here. So we're gonna bring the shoulders slightly forward between a downward dog and a high plank, and then rolling to the knife edge of the right foot, tap the left toes behind you, start to curl your heart up, and then hand to heart center to open the chest, and reach the left fingertips forward. Exhale, come into high plank. You're like, whoa, come through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. And if that's the first time you've ever worked on flipping your dog, give yourself some credit here. That's a big chest opener with a lot of core work. Inhale, start to lift your right leg high, second side, last flow here. Squeeze that right knee into your chest and step the right toes through. Work on rolling up to that high lunge. So press into the left big toe mount, squeeze left leg, round your spine, roll all the way up to your high lunge. Big breath in through your nose here. Bend a little deeper into that right knee. Hands to heart center. Seal your left heel down to the ground. Find your alignment in your feet first. So foundationally, press into the feet. Take your arms out wide, then draw low belly up and in, lift out of the waist. Inhale, start to reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, start to lean over that right leg. Try to keep the left rib cage rotating upward. Inhale, center. Exhale and reach. Inhale, center. Last time you're gonna reach, hold, rotate the ribs up. Take a big breath in through your nose. And exhale. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Heel, ball, toe your left foot in. Arc back, stretch back, go back. And then pinwheel your hands down to the ground. Roll up onto that left big toe mount. Now pop your right leg up, open your hip, bring your shoulders slightly forward, and then you can rotate to tap the toes behind you. Begin to reach your hand to heart center, rotate the chest up, reach your left arm forward, or that's your right arm, forward, 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 and then move through vinyasa. So we want to rotate back through center, chaturanga, or up, or knees down, lie down. Exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. All right, staying with me here. Bend those knees, hop one time to your hands, and then lower your bottoms. And then bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide. Hold on to your ankles, and then really wake up your feet here, pushing them into one another. Lift your chest and start to bring the chest through as you hinge and fold over the legs. And just allow yourself to feel any sensation here as you ground and start to cool down. Lengthen the back of your neck. Soften your jaw. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale, start to round your spine to roll back up to your seats. You can cross your ankles. If there's anything else you would like to add on to your practice, I encourage you to add that on now. If you are cooked, if you're ready to go, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in with me, and I hope to see you next time.